Hey all, X-Art student here. Happy holidays. I'm going to show you guys how to create a poinsettia, or you can do white for a snowflake. It doesn't really matter what paper you use. You could use flimsy printer paper, or you can use construction paper, or more like thicker cardstock. As long as you have the colors that you want for your flower, that's what matters. You need 6 pieces of paper, a scissor, a stapler. If you don't have a stapler, that's okay. You can use tape, but it's much harder to do versus the stapler. I think this is more secure. You can do all different colors. If you wanted to do the rainbow, you can. It doesn't have to all just be one color flower, but if you want that consistent look, I personally like the one color, but I had my old students do different colors, whatever was available, whatever made them happy. So first thing you're going to do is take one corner and bring it to the edge of the paper. It creates this triangle. It does not have to be perfect. I mean, maybe if you could get this point a little bit better, it's fine, you won't really see it. And you need to do this for the other 5 petals. Corner to the wall, corner, wall. And if this is too fast for you, that's okay, just pause the video. Corner, bring it to the wall, corner to the edge right here, corner to the wall or to the edge. Okay, now we have all these papers. The reason why we want to do that is because we want a square shape. So we're just going to cut these rectangles off. I like starting usually wherever there's the fold, but this is fine too. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you want to make it perfect, you can. I am lazy, so this is what I do. Okay, you do not need this, so put it to the side, but you do need this. So just continue chopping off the edges. If you're wondering why I'm making my poinsettia pink, it's because I did not have any red, even though I thought I did. So this is close. Anyways, you are going to put your petals to the side. Here's our triangle. You want the open side, the non-folded side, up. And what you're going to do is do maybe 4 cuts. I like going about there, cut towards the middle. I imagine there's an imaginary line. If I cut past it, this will break apart. I want to cut right before that imaginary middle line. And I'm going to try cutting the same thickness as the first cut, but again, doesn't have to be perfect. If you do want it to be perfect, you can measure it out. This, you won't really notice. Okay, I could do one more, so maybe 5. Now, I'm going to flip this over and do the same thing on this side. Remember, there's this imaginary line. Do not cut past it. If you do, the pieces will fall off and you can't use it properly. This is the thickness that I'm comfortable with. Got it in the middle. You want to keep it similar thickness so then it almost mirrors each other, and you want the same amount of cuts. Now do this with the rest of your petals. Now we have all these almost little Christmas trees. What you're going to do is open it up. And now this is the fun part. If it's easier, kind of flatten it out for yourself. What we're going to do is take the mirrored edges. You're going to fold them in the middle. And then I made this kind of small, so I'm going to probably tape it on both sides. But the rest of them I'm definitely going to staple. Middle doesn't have to look great, only if you want it to. We have our middle. Now all you're going to do, flip it. Now you take these 2 sides that are closest to the middle, you're going to fold them inward. Now we kind of made a little taco shell or a cannoli shell. Take your stapler and staple it together. If you don't get it in the middle, you could do it on both sides. Whatever you feel is most secure. So now this is what it looks like from above. They're like inverted or negative of each other, so Since I did this side, I flip to the next side. I grab the two most middle pieces, like of this fold, and I'm going to staple it again. This part's the fun part for me because you see it come together. Now I have this side, I flip. Take these two pieces, staple. Since this is done, flip it around, last piece. We are going to staple that. Again, doesn't have to be perfect, it's just so we get this beautiful shape. Now you're going to do this with the other 5 petals. Okay, now we're all done with these petals. If you had trouble and maybe some of this was too, like you cut it too close to the middle part, you can always tape it and repair it. It doesn't really matter as long as you have petals. Eventually, this is how this piece will lay out. I've seen people do 5 petals before or 4. To me, the most full flower is with 6 petals. And with the 6 petals, it's more sturdy. Let's take 2 petals. I'm going to match up these bottom triangles. They don't have to be perfect, but it is nice if they're close. And you are just going to staple them together. But what happens when you put them all together, sometimes these get floppy. So what I like to do is staple these 2 X's together. So see, this is the most outer X, and this is the most outer X. I'm just going to make them kiss. You can use this with tape or with a stapler. So now it won't go anywhere. Next petal, same process. You're going to line up the triangle at the bottom, staple them all together. Now we have the 2 outer X's. Let's make them kiss. Okay, we have half a flower. Look how cute it's looking. And it's nice and full and sturdy. Next petal. The more you add, it's a little bit harder because it's thicker, but just push down with your fingers. Once you staple, you're pretty good. Have the 2 edges, the X's have to kiss. Again, does not have to be lined up perfectly, as long as it looks like a flower. That's what matters. And even if it doesn't, it still looks pretty because it looks very intricate. Even though it's a pretty easy process. Now, do the triangles, leaf. Line them up, staple. These petals that are next to each other. Staple. You can staple it on either side. You could even staple it like this. Like, it doesn't have to be lined up. I'm going to try to staple it. Ugh, that's kind of hard. With the triangles. See how the rest of this is very sturdy, but this part, because it's not attached, it's floppy. That's why I like to staple these edges together. So I'm going to take the X's and kiss. And since this is the ending piece, we still need to connect it to the first piece. So X's together, then we kiss. Oh god, my stapler. There we go. And now we have a beautiful poinsettia. And if you're concerned about this little section, you could always staple it. Or tape it or something. Now it's together, it looks full, it's cute. I'm going to make a white snowflake and then probably a green one so it looks more Christmassy, but I'll do that on fast mode. So if you need, pause, take your time, and just have fun doing this. So as you saw, I made this chain with the leftover papers that I cut off of the petals. You can obviously either make chain art. I probably should have cut these in half, but I kind of like that they're chunky. Anyways, you could leave it as a chain, or I realized I could go like this and I can make it into a cute little circle. So I'm just gonna tape that together. Kind of reminds me of those peppermint swirls. It's like a little flower. That's cute. I'm gonna do this side so it's extra secure. So here we have it, our snowflake. A cute flower, another flower, and our chain. So you could hang these up on the wall. You could hang it up with tape. I actually have a command strip already up there for my lights, and that honestly does look cute, so I might leave it there. Anyways, hope you learned something. Hope this was fun. Hopefully the tutorial helped, and I'll see you next time. Thanks guys, bye!